Nice, nice. Imagine voice cracking. That's embarrassing. Alrighty, hello everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We're just gonna pull up today's chat rooms. Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome everybody. Today we are working on some of our Halloween drawings. Today, if you aren't able to tell, we are working on Tim Burton's Corpse Bride. This is what we're starting with today. Hello! My wonderful, beautiful, amazing girlfriend has jumped into the chat. Jocelyn is here. Isn't that wonderful? Alrighty. Let's see, what's going on? We have a few... Alright, good. It looks like the stream's working. It looks like some of it... Hold on. Let me just... Probably shouldn't do that, but I'm going to. So deal with it. Alrighty. Okay, perfect. Don't mind me while I just set everything up. Okay, I think we're all in focus. I think we're all ready. Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys can hear me just fine. Today, we are drawing the Corpse Bride. That's what we're doing. So if you guys haven't seen The Corpse Bride, you definitely should, because it's a gorgeous movie. It's a wonderful story. Basically, I started this sketch the other day, yesterday, and now I'm coming through to finish it. I think the hardest part about this is going to be the fact that I am used to, like, grabbing my page and turning it around as such, but I need to actively remember that I have people watching, and so that won't work as well. Okay, I need to grab a different pencil to do a bit of shading. I'm not gonna lie. Excuse me. I'm not gonna lie, this is a bit of a new challenge because everything's just a little bit in the way. I have like a camera set up so you guys can see everything, right? And then I have like a light so you guys can actually see the canvas, so my hand's shadows just aren't all over it. Tim Burton's style is like super, what's the word? Spider-like. His lines are very delicate and precise, but then when he wants you to see like softer tones and textures, you'll see them. Zenaida, hi, welcome to the chat. Thank you so much for coming. So the thing about eyes, fun fact, eyes are hardly ever pure white. If you're doing realism, or even honestly a lot of cartoons, eyes will be shaded slightly because shadows fall on the eyes as well. specifically closer to like the edges and the corners. Also, the Corpse Bride, her lips are darker than the rest of her. Now, obviously, you guys can see that I've kind of drawn the outline of the hair, but we haven't actually done the hair yet. I'm focused on the I'm focused on the skin first, which maybe I should do the hair first, but I love Heartbreaker. Welcome to the chat. Janelle, welcome to the chat. Thank you so much for being here. I love Heartbreaker just asked, do dead bodies really turn green and blue? I'm curious now, so let's look it up. Excuse me. Yes, dead bodies can turn both blue and green. Initially, the body can develop a blue or purplish discoloration called livor mortis due to blood settling in the lowest parts of the body after circulation stops. Over time, the green color appears as a result of decomposition, where bacteria produce hydrogen sulfide and reacts with hemoglobin to create a greenish pigment. Interesting. I'm not like super surprised. I know we don't look the same later. Alright. Okay, so now we're gonna add some dark hues. Gonna add some shadows back here where the deeper parts of her hair are. Let's go, and then I also need to increase the shadow on her neck a little bit. Everybody who's new here, welcome to the chat. Thank you so much for being here. The Corpse Bride also has a bit of a hole right there in her face. There needs to be some darkness in between her lips. We need to make sure that that goes even. She has dimples, in case you didn't know that. But because she is blue, her entire face is going to be shaded just a little bit, so that parts of her face, like her eyes or the bridge of her nose, that have highlights on them will be noticeable. Now here's where I come in and I do a bit of a risk. I smudge with my finger, which really I should have like a smudging tool, a smudging eraser, but I don't, so we deal with what we've got. She's so pretty. I agree. I do think she's very pretty. And the Corpse Bride also has some patterns of decay up here on the side of her head over there. Cool, 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 cool. Okay. Now she has curls in her hair, and we're mostly just gonna have to what's the word? Improvise them. This is her bone. I'm gonna work on her skeletal hand a little bit because I want to put the shading on that first so that I don't have to come back to it later. Putting the shading on her arms, well, her arm, her single arm. And then this little rag that she has, over her hand. Gotta shade this to the shape of her hand. A little bit. I mean, really, the whole rag is going to be a different color than the rest of her. And when working with black and white, you're not looking at color, you're looking at value. So then I would go through and I'd add some highlights in certain places, like here, and maybe a little bit right there. Now, underneath the rag is where more of the shadows are going to be, because there should be, like, when working with realistic textures, which I know this isn't a realistic figure, but it is stop motion, so we actually are working with realistic figures here. These characters weren't drawn with lines, they were sculpted out of, you know, clay and other materials, so so it is technically like realistic. Oh, what's the what's the word? I lost my train of thought. We're working with realistic features, which means that they're technically right here. There isn't a line right there. It's simply you have the light value of the cloth, and then it immediately transfers to the dark value of the day. Dang, did you go to college for art? I want to go to college for art, but no, I have not. That is my goal, though. That is what I want to do, for sure. We're going to continue adding shadows over here on her bones. And now it's time to shade her actual bones. Now, the fun thing that I keep having to remind myself is that when drawing, excuse me, when drawing anything really, but it's specifically like in my case, these Halloween characters, I have to continue to remind myself that it doesn't need to look perfect. I can draw these in my own style, in my own poses. Sometimes I go a little bit of an easier route, or maybe I just, you know, I don't want to try to fix what's not broke. And I do, what's the word? Thank you, Jocelyn just said in the chat, you are an incredible artist. Thank you so much. Instead of trying to copy a pose like from the film, I have to keep reminding myself that I'm allowed to do something a little more freeform like this, because this isn't a pose from the film. This is, I took a picture of myself doing this pose, and then I sketched out just the general pose onto the paper, and then I'm looking at references of Emily, multiple different references of this character, and sketching this character into the pose itself. Morbid Studio saying, when you do go to college, bring your own stuff. Don't buy anything on campus. It's so overpriced. Well, that is some good advice. Thank you so much. When you say bring your own stuff, are you talking like art supplies? I'm assuming you're talking about art supplies, but I might be misunderstanding. Alright. So, I clearly have the light. The light is somewhere, the light source is somewhere over, like, here in the foreground, and it's going, whoops, it's going that way. I was motioning with my pencil, but, like, the way it translates on camera wasn't explaining what I was trying to explain. That was funny. Let's see. So what's cool about this, I also have to remind myself that I am like selling these professionally, but these are just sketch portraits and I don't need to make them look perfect. I think more people should think about that when they draw is it does not have to look perfect. You are going to drive yourself crazy if you try to make each drawing look perfect. Genuinely, you'll be better off if you just keep drawing, keep starting new things. I mean, obviously it's great to go and finish a project, but you don't want to stay on one project for too long, especially if it's not like a commission or anything. If it's just like for yourself, don't stay on one, don't burn yourself out on one project, don't obsess over one project for too long, you know? Okay, time to erase some of the extra lines that we have. And if you guys like this spooky Halloween music that we have going on in the background, you guys can check it out at No Copyright Sounds. Panda Beats is the name of the channel supplying the music today. And then, because this is not like a smooth, like this isn't smooth skin that we're working with right here, this is fabric, gonna just add some texture through using the eraser. And then add some more shadows right there. Is it perfect? No. Does it need to be? Absolutely not. Alright, so we've done a lot of texture on the hand. Now we're going to come over here. And there genuinely is just a giant hole. Like right here. There's just a hole where the rest of her arm would be if it wasn't just, you know, a skeleton. Which is great. We love this character design. She's gorgeous, as always. Oh, let's see. Jocelyn said I needed the pencil one day during my first semester of college, and even they felt overpriced. Morba Studio said, yeah, one good pen is like $12. And that was like in the early 2000s when I went to Kansas City Art Institute. Wow, okay, so you were an art student. Well, I am honored for your compliments in the chat. Thank you so much. Jocelyn says, I also ended up spending more spending money than I meant to on vending machines before I finally realized I should just bring in my own snacks from home. Morbid Studio says, you got talent, never give up. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, man. Oh, that means the world to me. Thank you so much. Oh, we also got Kato in the chat, popping in for 15 minutes-ish, scrolling across that right after a video of cats is concerning. From cute to actually creepy. What did I miss so far? Well, I mean, this is meant to be a mix of cute and creepy, which is kind of just Tim Burton style, isn't it? But we're drawing the Corpse Bride today. That's what we're doing. Jocelyn says, money doesn't make any sense to me, though. Isn't that true? Yes, I agree. He could totally become a super famous artist, and I keep encouraging him that he should go for it, because if anyone could, he could. Thank you, babe. I really appreciate it. Bacon's Art and Stuff is saying, you're so quiet. Uh-oh. Here, I know how to turn myself up. I'll turn myself up a little bit. Kato, if you're confused, there's the stream is on vertical and horizontal. So if you're watching on horizontal, there's chat happening more in the vertical stream. But yeah, I have both happening at the same time. And so I have my vertical stream right here and my horizontal stream right here, and I can see the different chats. Bacon's Art and Stuff saying, I like your drawings. Thank you so much. Thank you. That literally means so much to me, guys. You guys are so freaking nice. So I was using this more like blunt, almost entirely gone pencil for my shading. I'm going to go back to my sharpened pencil for some more detail work. We're going to focus a little bit on the bouquet of flowers that she has, which means I need to find a different reference picture that actually shows the flowers. You guys are the greatest. Today was a good day. I just passed someone cosplaying Corpse Bride. No way! That's so cool. That's so cool. Mr. Monkey Business. Wait a minute. I'm waiting. I'm curious. Bacon saying, just call me Bacon. Alright, I'll call you Bacon. Mr. Monkey Business. Is that a Corpse Bride drawing? It is, yes. This is what we're currently working on today. And as you might be able to tell, it's not complete at the moment, but we're getting there. This is one I started working on yesterday, and we're hopefully going to finish it today. I like putting effort and detail into them, but I have to continuously remind myself that I don't need to make it perfect. Like the movie. Yes, it is the Corpse Bride from the movie. Nice. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like it. Alright, that might be the best reference we can find, at least for the flowers. Honestly, the flowers, I might just have to just go for it and scribble the textures on there. Because, like I said, it doesn't need to be perfect. You just need to be able, your brain just needs to like squint at it and be able to tell what it's supposed to be. And like, while I could put a bunch of details into the flowers are not the main part of this sketch, and like I said, it is just a sketch. There's no background to this piece, there's nothing crazy special that I'm trying to do with it. I'm just trying to create, well, honestly, the fact of the matter is that I am behind on like 16 of these October Halloween themed drawings. And so I'm trying to catch up on them. And if I put too much effort into every single one, then it's never going to happen. But I am enjoying what I'm doing here. And the point of the matter is to enjoy what you're drawing. And if you're not, then you're probably doing something wrong. I'm mostly just differentiating with slight highlights between each flower. And genuinely, people might watch this, other artists, and be like, oh no, what is he doing? Oh, it hurts. Hurts to watch. But that's the thing, is I'm not doing this for anybody else, I'm just doing this for myself. I don't need it to look any other way besides just the way that I want it to look. So we've got those little, put some shading, a little bit of shading here. And then her fingers, which are blue. These aren't her skeletal fingers over here. These are her flesh fingers. But I want to add a little more. In fact, I'm going to take this one. I'm going to turn the canvas just a little bit so I can just attack these fingers real quick. There we go. That should be fine. Okay. Awesome! Today was a good day. I love drawing. That show. I love drawing. That shows a lot of perspective. Thank you so much. Yes, I was mentioning before that my style, I had a pose in mind, right? And I set up my camera and I took a picture in front of my camera doing the pose that I wanted. And then I used myself as a reference to just sketch out the basic pose here on the drawing. And then, excuse me, sorry, I have to clear my throat. And then after I sketched out the basic pose, then I looked up references of the character, the actual character I wanted to draw. And I created it. I like basically drew that character on top of the pose that I had sketched out. Kato saying, yes, that actually looks so good. Since when did ads play in live streams? I just got one. Oh, I don't know actually. It might be a setting that I turned on, but I don't remember. Right? Isn't he an amazing artist? Yes, that's really cool. Oh, thank you so much. If you guys aren't subscribed, would love to have you subscribe so I can see you guys around more often because you guys are so freaking nice. Alright, so now here's the thing about the hair is that Tim Burton's style, you can see like the individual strands of hair, which stresses me out, but that's fine. We're gonna just add some basic. That should be good for now. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Jocelyn says, I'm basically subscribed IRL too, lol. That is true. When you're my girlfriend, I suppose you are, like, the most subscribed out of anyone. Alright. I want to put slightly more shading on, like, this little flower thing that she's got on top of her veil. Okay. All of her hair needs to just have a darker hue than her skin. And we'll do more of that in a bit. But I didn't know you draw digitally as well. I do draw digitally, yes. I don't have my tablet out right now. I mean, I could get it out. But yes, I draw digitally, and I'm probably going to be doing more of that later today. Oh, that's cute. Would buy a membership, but I'm broker than broke, and I'm in debt. Yeah, no, that's okay. I am also in debt. It's a real struggle, and I completely understand. It's weird because I don't have any like content exclusively for members because I don't have any members. But YouTube's like, you need to have content for members in order to get members, and I'm like, right, you would think. Okay, hold on though. I forgot. I actually want to have at least like a solid thick strand of hair coming down her chest right there. I forgot about that actually. I freaking love The Corpse Bride. So The Corpse Bride is actually my favorite Halloween movie. It is because it's like near perfect. It's such a gorgeous story. It carries so much like emotional weight and just meaning. I could talk about The Corpse Bride probably forever. So similar, if you guys haven't seen my Heath Ledger Joker drawing, I don't need this to look perfect, right? Most people would say when you draw hair, don't draw the individual strands. Well, this sketch in style is basically just scribbles. I mean, they're all really just choreographed scribbles. That's how this works. I'm gonna use my blunt shading pencil real quick actually to shade the skin that she's got down here, because like we said before, her skin is blue, the lightest part of this drawing, besides maybe her bones right here, got some highlights on her bones, is the dress. Well, her eyes and the dress actually. Erase a bit on the eyes. There we go. Okay. Now her dress, although it's like dirty and scrounged up from being underground in the film, it's still like textured and really pretty. It has a lot of butterfly symbolism on it, actually, which if you guys haven't seen the movie, you should. But the symbolism of the butterfly is one of my favorite things in that movie. Okay, so now we gotta, like I said before, when you're working with realistic materials, there's no actual lines. It's just the difference between like dark and light, right? So like this is not a line right here. It's something light that turns into something dark, right? Same thing over here is that I'm not supposed to be holy crap, sorry. Excuse me. I'm not supposed to be like drawing the bones. I'm drawing a difference between the bones and the shadow behind them, right? The bones of her rib cage right there. Jocelyn asked, is Corpse Bride your favorite Halloween movie? I can't remember. It is indeed. That is my favorite Halloween movie. Kato saying, I would just have the membership to support you. Don't need anything special. Well, oh, thank you so much. Goodness. I apologize so much, guys. By the way, anybody who's watching right now, this drawing, as well as several others that I create, several other Halloween drawings, are available to purchase, or once it's done, it will be available to purchase on my online store, which the link is in the description. We also have these stickers. These are monthly sticker designs that I make through that my Patreon members get for free, but you can buy these stickers on my store as well. The Kato says, the person who I was going to play a game with isn't on, meaning I'm just going to stay here existing. Well, I really appreciate that you're just here existing. Thank you so much, as always, Kato. Alright. Okay, so we've got the texture of the top of her dress. The bottom of her dress actually just kind of continues that texture. Technically, there is some like lace patterns here at the top, but we're just gonna scribble those on. And this texture where I'm basically just, again, choreographed scribbles, scribbling down here continues. But in the lighter areas, you don't see as much of it. Yesterday I was going through videos with my, not videos, but like old pictures with my mom, and in like 2019, I was in, no, wait, was it 2020? No, it was 2019. I was in, theater, and I was learning how to do, like, we were in our makeup unit, and I freaking loved the makeup unit, because I love acting, but as you can tell, I also love drawing, being artistic, you know, etc., etc. Ooh, note to self, this texture continues all the way down here. That's what that line's for. Okay. I started creating makeup looks like just for fun at home, and my mom and I were looking for those pictures. We found one, but it was like an assignment that I did and not anything that was like meant to be for fun, which was kind of sad because we were reminiscing on some of the cool makeup looks I did and we couldn't find them. I made myself look like Harrison Ford, like an old Harrison Ford. Made myself look like, okay, so at this point, this is a little too dark, so I'm taking this little molded eraser. I'm going through and just lightening up little dabs, and I'm kind of getting rid of this line right here, because that was more of like a figure guiding line. Getting rid of that line in the middle, because there's nothing there that needs to, you know, separate these two pieces. Because they're technically, like, they really are just like the same piece. light little touches. You add the details in slowly and the entire piece starts to come together. That's some of my biggest advice I'd give to anybody else wanting to try to attempt drawings like this. Kato says, well, I'm existing and admiring. Thank you. Thank you very much. Alrighty. So, I need to look at Emily's... Okay, open image in new tab. I need full... Nice. There we go. There we go. Let's zoom in a little bit. Nice. Okay. The ring. I actually haven't done anything with this ring yet, but the ring itself does have shading and some shine to it because it's a gold ring, which I know it doesn't look like I did much there. Like I said, it's just a sketch, but let's see. I should finish her hair. I'm gonna wait a little bit more before I finish the hair. That was a quotation mark if you couldn't tell. Alright, but this is her veil, and her veil just has soft little ghost lines that go down it the whole way. It's a tattered, torn veil that's really pretty, and I love her design with it. I always have. This whole thing is her veil. I have her hair going out. I have her hair going out this way, and the veil framing the pose this way. I want to have a bit more of her hair over here, though. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want it to drown out her eyelashes on that side of her face, though. There we go. It's coming together. Kato says, bro, when I plug in my headphones, I can't hear you, meaning I'm going to have to go. Oh, no. Well, see ya. I'm so sorry. I don't know why you're not able to hear me once you plug your headphones in. That doesn't make sense. I don't know why that's the case. Oh, well, though. So her hair goes off in waves, right? But she also has like one of her strands of hair straight up just has a curly Q like that at the end. And then I also need to map out the rest of her dress. Another reason why this isn't like a big professional drawing is because I'm not doing any background with it. So like I don't have to draw her entire body or even the rest of her hair, because like the figure just kind of fades off into the white of the background, right? I only have to draw out like as far as I really want to, which I do want to, but I'm gonna make a little bit of this disappear. They're gonna go sleep with the fishes. That line's gonna go sleep with the fishes. Because she has some texture on the edge of her veil. Not really, no. It wouldn't go there, it wouldn't go there. In fact, there should hardly be a line there at all. We're gonna add some more shading on this part of the veil. And again, we really are just playing around. Like, I'm not focusing on the, like, what the actual shape of this veil would be. I could if I really wanted to put more detail into it, but, like I said, the further we go out, the further we go to the edges from what the focal point of the drawing is, the less I care about how everything, like, how precise everything looks. I want this to be sketchy. I want people to look at it and be like, wow, those are all pencil strokes. And they look like kind of random pencil strokes, but they're coming together really well to create the look of a well-known character, you know? Also, I want to put more shading on the torso over here. Alrighty. So now there's a bit of like lace or something at the edge, at the bottom edge of her dress right there. So gonna add a bit of texture there. I love the flowy pose. It looks really nice. Thank you. Yes, that's probably what I'm gonna end up being the proudest of once this is all done. It's just the posing and the decision made and how I'm presenting this character. So I'm putting some shading on here, but because her skirt is white, I want a little less concentration on the shading. I just want a little bit of texturing. So I'm erasing most of that. There we go. So it's still there, but clearly not the focal point. Gonna extend the flowiness of the skirt this way just a little bit, because the motion of this, like the flow, the motion of this drawing, I want it to kind of flow like this, like, you know, up to her face. Everything is kind of flowing from her face, you know. So this is her face, her hand comes out here, her hair is coming out there, her body is bent a little bit so it curves and it flows down this way, her veil flows this way. Everything is just flowing from her face, and that's just the composition that I had in mind when I chose this pose for the drawing. I am going to add a bit more shading on the edge of her dress down there. Yep. And then a little bit just more under the hand, so it looks like it doesn't just stop up here, but that it continues back here, which it does. Right? Oh no, you see what I did here? I don't know if you guys noticed this, but you see this kind of this line that exists with the skeletal hand. By the way, I gotta narrow that a little bit. It looked like the line was coming straight from that joint on the bone, which is not what we want. Also, I don't like how aggressive that rip is. I'm actually we're gonna leave it there. I'm just gonna lighten it up a little bit. I'm gonna do more texturing rather than darkening. Yeah, that should be good. I'm gonna texture more of this fabric. Just make it look like there's... There we go. Just to make it look a little messier, and then I'm gonna blot it out a little more one more time with the eraser. Yeah, that should be fine. Maybe a little bit right there. Yeah. No problemo. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this dress down a bit so that we shade it out and it doesn't look like it's just coming from the joint of the hand. Okay, there we go. Technically, hold on. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now we pretty much just got to finish the hair, and then we should be good after just some finishing touches. And I want the veil to be kind of coming over this way too, but we're gonna finish the hair real quick. Woo! I feel my eyes kind of going cross-eyed because I've been concentrated so hard on it for a solid minute here. Woo! Oh, I gotta take a break from my eyes. Hello, anybody who just jumped in the chat. Say hi in the chat so I know you were here. Oi. Heck yeah. Astro saying hi. Hello, welcome to the chat, Astro. Thank you so much for being here. We're just chilling, enjoying some chill, spooky vibes while we're working on some art. Hey, hello, Astro. Thanks for hopping in, man. I'm glad to have you here. Excuse me. All right. The last thing we need for this is really just to complete her hair, which is the behemoth of a project that I've been like, I don't know if I want to do that. Cute Corgis sees Pebble. Hello, Cute Corgis. Thank you so much for being here. All right, let's look up a good reference just for Emily's hair. That's most of what we need here. Okay. Here we go. I think I found a good reference for her hair. She got them curls. Okay, open image in new tab. Here we go. Oh, that's a small image. Yeah, that's not going to help me much. Zooming in just makes it blurry. That's fan art. We want to reference the actual... I mean, the fan art's gorgeous, but we want to reference the actual film. Oh, that is gorgeous fan art. Ah! This is one of those moments where I wish that I did add color to my... Alright, we have Astro. I really love it. Corpse Bride is my favorite Halloween movie. Well, I'm so glad you love it. Thank you so much. And it is also, we were just talking about, it's my favorite Halloween movie too. It has always been my favorite Halloween movie. Alrighty, it looks like I'm gonna have to just use this as the reference for her hair. Soda Cat Bowl. Everybody's seeing pebbles in the chat. Why are you guys seeing pebbles in the chat? Whoa, that's so sick. Oh, thank you so much, Soda Cat Bowl. I love your name, by the way. That's so cute, Soda Cat Bowl. This isn't just a spooky drawing session. This is also free advice live stream. So if you guys have anything at all, like genuinely, I give out free advice all the time. It doesn't have to be about drawing. We talk about all sorts of stuff here. I want to add a few loose strands coming off. And then genuinely, I'm going to take this blunt pencil and I'm just going to darken just the body of where I think the hair would be. And this is going to do most of my work for me, really. Because then I just kind of smudge it around. And now I just go in and I texture it. So I might go in and be like, hey, I want to highlight there. I want to highlight there. And we're going to make the strands of hair with the eraser, right? And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to add... Yeah, you see how that's going to come together right there? I don't have to spend so much time on each individual strand because it's just going to be added like this, right? And then, you know, as we go in, we'll texture it more and more. Whoa, that's so sick. Coffee's your whole persona. So coffee is your whole persona? Where did coffee come into it? Gay? Where did gay come into it? I love reading the chat, especially when it makes no sense to me. But I'm glad you guys are having fun. And like I said before, I don't actually have to finish the ends of really any of this hair because... Oh my gosh, we just got a new subscriber! Who'd we get? Astro subscribed. Shelly Diaz has subscribed. Oh, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys. You guys are actually the greatest. I am so thankful for you guys. So yeah, so this is my little trick, and then we're just gonna shade this empty space back here because the veil still exists over here, right? Smudge it out just a little bit. Very, very minute touches, right? Oh! Beautiful. Okay, and then I want to shade a little bit more around her face right here. I'm gonna pause on the hair for just a second while I give her eyes a little more of that corpse shadow that Tim Burton gives her. And then, oh, maybe a little bit over here too on this side. We want to make sure they're even. But then I'm gonna go through and erase most of what I just did. So erasing there. Just dabbing a little bit to smoothen out and lighten up part of it. Because she has just this, you know, a little bit of shadow. Right there, right? Lol, my boyfriend has to fight gay allegations again. Soda Cat's Bowl says, what are your thoughts on AI art? The fact that you put quotation marks around AI art makes me think that perhaps we're in the same boat and we agree that generative AI images is not art. And, you know, I apologize if you think otherwise, but it's true. It's not, like, artwork is the form of human expression of emotion and thought through visual media. No, it doesn't even have to be through visual media, but the key word is human expression, right? If you were to take a scanner and like scan somebody's artwork, and then you have your own piece of art of that other person's artwork, and you're like, look, I made this, you're lying. And that's not, like, yeah, you made that copy, but you did not create that artwork, right? It's like, no matter, it's really simple. No matter how you throw it, AI art is not your art. You did not create it. And the computer itself cannot claim that it is of original creation, because if you know how the, sorry, I'm just moving the sketch real quick so that I can wipe away some eraser stuff. If you know how AI art works, it just, the algorithm searches through a bunch of art that it just has in its database and uses that and like copies and collages it. It's literally the, hey, like you can copy my homework but make it look different, and that's it, right? And so many of these AI machines make their art from artworks that they don't have the permission to use. They're just looking online and they look for any images that other people have created that looks like sort of what they want to create, and that's, you know, and they use it without permission, and that's not okay, you know? So yeah, no. Those are my opinions on AI art. The fact that it's not art. Adding a few little details to the veil. Okay. Alright, now let's go ahead and let's go a little harder on the shading. And it really is, like I said, my art really is just choreographed scribbles. There's not a whole lot else to it. I mean, I'll sit here and be like Bob Ross and say, now we're doing this, and now we're doing this, and look at this happy tree, but, you know. Now I'm just going to shade the different areas where I want specific paths of the hair to stand out. There's going to be different gaps and such. I actually don't want that to be that dark, because that's higher up on the head. Now we're going to go through create some lighter paths where the light is hitting the hair. I wrote a paper on AI art and copyright in high school. It's something I really dislike. Soda Cat Bowl says, do you know what object shows are? I do not. Do you want to tell me about them? Jocelyn says, the hair looks really incredible, babe. Thank you so much, babe. I love you. Okay. So I think we're good, actually. I think this is where I want to finish it. And I'm going to put my signature probably down here. There we go. Ah! There it is. There's the finished product. I hope you guys like it. I'm very happy with what I did. Actually, no, hold on. I said finished product, but I'm going to continue adding some finishing touches. I hope you guys like it because I'm really proud of it. And that's the thing. If any of you guys are artists too, a lot of people forget that art isn't necessarily meant for anybody else. You should be drawing what you want to draw. And be enjoying. You should be enjoying it, right? It's good to push yourself and to try new things, but bottom line, if you're not enjoying it, you're doing it wrong. Don't let art become something that you dread or that it's a chore, right? That's the last thing we want. Nobody wants that. Alrighty. Okay, yep, I'm very proud of this. Ooh, hold on. Few last touches over there. Making sure everything lines up where it's supposed to. Okay, there we go. That is our lovely corpse bride. And I think, yeah, here is where we are officially, we're finished. We're done. Now, I don't like the lighting on the paper. I don't know if you guys can tell. I have this floodlight on right here. This is what it looks like without it, though. If I don't have it, then my hands will be covering, like the shadows will be covering the page, whether my hands are here or not, right? So if I'm like working on it over here, the shadow is just covering the page. And so obviously I don't like that. I don't want that. So I have the floodlight on, but honestly, you can tell that the light is like right here and the rest of it just turns into a gradient. And I don't like that, but I think it's better than having my shadows freaking over here. So anyway. Alrighty. Well, again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. If you guys enjoyed it, please consider subscribing because that's how YouTube works. You guys are the best. We're gonna come back with some more drawings later on, further down the road. We're always coming back to do more drawings. And then all of these drawings that you see me doing on here, most of them, including this one, will be on my online store. The link is in the description. Please check it out, because this is how I'm trying to make a living. Stay tuned for some animation videos that I'm working on, and yeah, more stickers and stuff. If you guys like this sort of sticker, this is the sticker that it was created for this month, right? This is our Halloween sticker, our October sticker. So if you like it, it's for sale on the store as well. And if you want a free sticker, a new free sticker design every month, you can become a Patreon, which link is also in the description, and you get to vote on what the design is each month, and yeah, fun stuff. So thank you again for being here. I really appreciate all of you guys being here. I'm gonna just add one little more line that's like bugging me right there. Yay! Oh, now it's bugging me even more. Hold on. makes the line and then erases the line. The story of an artist. Okay. There we go. That's fine. Okay, and with that, any finishing touches I do, I'm probably going to do off camera now. Well, as I continue to do them on camera. I actually want this veil to appear a little lighter. There we go. Okay. I think we're all good now, and then we go through and we erase any smudges that my hands might have made around the rest of the drawing. Okay. Oh, gorgeous. Thank you everybody for being here. Cute Corgi saying cute. Thank you so much. Death Star saying hello. Death Star, you're coming in at the very end. But I love you guys. I need to go. I'm still in my pajamas actually. I don't know if you guys could tell. But I need to go shower and eat lunch. That looks so beautiful. Can you turn off the floodlight again for a bit? Yeah, let's turn off the floodlight. I will lean back so that hopefully, well, there's some shadow on it right here from just like the light that's coming through the window, but this is what it looks like without the floodlight. Skateboard-minded oracles. Thank you for coming to the chat, my bro. Death Star, you always start 30 to an hour before I get out of school. It took me another half hour after to check my phone. Well, don't worry. I might stream again later today. We'll see. Not sure, but yeah. That's what the drawing looks like without the floodlight. I suppose I could move it a little bit up. And maybe you get to see more of it that way, or maybe I just cut some of it off. I don't know, but yep, this is our drawing for today. Again, thank you everybody for being here. This is where I will be giving my adieu and pausing the stream music. So thank you everybody. You guys are amazing and awesome, and I love you all. Eat your banana pancakes. You guys are freaking superheroes, and the world's a better place with you in it. Don't forget that. I love you all. Mwah. And have a good day, good night, and sleep tight. I'm just kidding. I don't know why I said good night, because it's only good day. And I might stream later today, so we'll